In this video, we are on the binomial distribution note sheet, and we've talked about most of this in class, so I'm going to go to the last page, and I'm just going to talk about problem 2. I've decided that I'm going to hold off on talking about problem 3 until tomorrow, and I'm going to tweak it a little bit. All right, so let's just take a look at number 2. So number 2 says, on any morning, the probability that Sam takes a bus to work is 0.4. Find the probability that in a working week of 5 days, Sam takes the bus to work twice. So if we think about, we have this working week of 5 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we want to know that what's the probability that he takes the bus to work 2 times. So it can be any 2. It could be first and second, it could be first and third, first and fifth, and so forth. So first of all, let's determine that this is binomial. So remember, the first is to determine if there are 2 outcomes, success and failure. And so we would say, yes, there are 2 outcomes. Either he has success, which will be taking the bus, or failure, which will be not taking the bus. So that first criterion is taken care of, and that's going back to what's on this page. So there are 2 possible outcomes. The second one is that there has to be a fixed number of independent trials. And so on this one, we can see that we have these 5 independent days. What happens on one day has nothing to do with what happens on another. And so we do have a fixed number of trials, and we say that n is 5. On the next one, it says the probability of success has to be constant, and we're going to call that p. So in this problem, probability is constant. It's 0.4. That's the chance of him taking the bus to work. And then the last one says that the random variable has to count the total number of successes. So success was taking the bus, so we're going to let x be the number of times Sam takes the bus. So we're just going to count that up. So as I've said before, I think it's a good idea to also write down what the probability, what the sample space is. So he could take it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 times. You might also want to write the probability distribution. So x follows a binomial distribution with 5 trials and probability of success 0.4. And then you might also want to write the probability statement or the probability formula. So the probability that x equals x is going to be 5 choose x, as we saw from the previous page. So we're looking at this formula back here. The probability that x equals x is n choose x times p to the x times 1 minus p to the n minus x. So that means we're going to end up here with 5 choose x times 0.4 to the x, because that's success, times 0.6 to the 5 minus x. So in this particular problem, we're really just interested in knowing what's the probability that x is equal to 2, that he takes it 2 times during the week. So that's 5 choose 2, and then 0.4 squared times 0.6 to the 5 minus 2, which is to the 3rd. And when you multiply that out, that should be 0.346. So that's it for today, and like I said, we'll talk about question 3 tomorrow.